here. I will try to share my screen right away. Let's see. I hope this works well for me. Yes, okay. So it's a complete delight to be among educators tonight on a subject which is very dear to my heart, especially since March here in Greece, we went, educators, students, pupils, all of us went online without being prepared, without being ready, and almost half not managing at all. And this very disruptive time has demanded from all of us to bring forward talents and abilities and charisma that we have not been aware that we really had. And this exponential time is going to go ahead, and it's going to be creating change that we have not been prepared for. And in this talk tonight, I would like to share with you my own vision about myself. And when I was growing up on a very small island on the Aegean Sea, I actually grew up holding a pencil like there is no tomorrow. And I was doing my doodles and my letters with my pencil, and I took my time drawing and doing stuff. And it took ages for me to really learn the calligraphy of my language. However, my children today and the children of tomorrow will be only taught what I learned, how to use a pencil as the art of a museum. For them, it will be something that they will be instructed in, but they will not have to use. And in this digital generation gap, here I am, myself, an educator myself, and I need to disrupt myself. I need to innovate myself, and I need to really endow myself with some really creative new skills. And as I sit down and ponder who I am in front of a classroom, for example, of young people, then I find that I need to access resources that I never thought I would really need. So my first task for today is to really take us on a journey of understanding the kind of speed of change through which we are running today. So in the past 20 years, there's been way more change than in the past 500 or 1,000 years. So there's been a huge milestones in the 1960s when the man walked on the moon. And after that, since that time, things have been growing exponentially, and the new technologies that have shaped our universe are catapulting into our everyday lives. So let's for a moment consider transportation. So this comes from a vase from one of those graveyards in ancient Athens, and it is dated about 2,000 years ago. And actually, if we consider transformation, even 100 years ago, the situation was exactly the same. So for 2,000 years, and in actuality, for a whole of 4,000 years, this chariot or the carriage was what moved people from place to place. And I would like to show you how within just 30 years, in the previous century, just within 30 years, everything changed all of a sudden. So The first car came actually in Switzerland in 1885, and then it was the time of the first airplane in 1903, and it took all of 30 years in the 1900s to actually completely eliminate the carriage except as a museum piece. And if somebody were to actually visit an airplane cockpit in 2020, it does not even look anything like a cockpit, let's say, even just 20 years ago. Everything is touch screen, and artificial intelligence is driving the plane with the aid of the human hand or the aid of the human intelligence of the pilot. So we actually do live indeed in exponential times, and a technology which was there for over 4,000 years, all of a sudden in only 30 years, it just got eliminated. And I want us to consider this big, huge question mark. We teachers, we are a technology of the human mind. We are a fantastic technology of transferring not just learning and knowledge, but also behavior, civilization, cultural, creative material, and we are such a catalyst for people's ability to grow up being useful, creative, productive, and able to get through day to day. So we are the technology of success. We educators are actually the magic catalyst, the magic ingredient, which makes it absolutely possible for people to be able to succeed and achieve in their lives. So one cannot help but wonder, what is our future? And are we disrupted in the classroom, at schools, or in the learning process itself? So as we go on, since I've been talking about transportation, let's ask this question: where next then? And I would like to show you here the new Mercedes car, the Vision AVTR. I'm not sure if we have any car aficionados in this group of very important scientists and educators, but the Vision AVTR, which is a completed car, which is ready to be launched, is completely out of this world. So what you can see here on its top is those movable cells, which actually include solar panels. So the car can actually use energy from the sun, but also they change colors according to the mood of the driver, so that the person following you can actually tell if you are driving with intensity and pressure to arrive to work, or if you are driving in leisure and relaxation. Of course, it is a driverless car, and it's interesting that it can move sideways and in more ways than conventional car technology has been able to. It's truly amazing when it comes to design, but I would like, there's a lot of detail in it, but what I would like to show you is how it is controlled and managed. It is actually moved through this kind of a mouse. So it is mouse kind of driven, with one difference, that this mouse is directly linked to the brain waves of the driver, so that it is absolutely sensitive to the minutest mood or desire or goal or driving objective, and is absolutely then responsive, so that you only have to move your hand, actually, for this car to, through your very, very slight movements, be able to navigate and not only create a destination path, but also create the kind of journey that would be most relaxing and conducive to how you want to spend your time in the car as a new kind of incubated paradise, so to speak. So we can imagine, as transportation moves and changes this way, how our culture will be influenced, how our communication will be influenced if there's going to be such sensitive human-computer interaction, if things are progressing in such a monumental way. So disruption is not evolution, it is transformation. It is when things are becoming new in unexpected ways. And so the big question is, what kind of disruption is now happening in education, in the sense of how do the people of the human race acquire their humanity and their human skills? So a world crisis like the pandemic, and as we are going through it today, changes things forever, because it just speeds up the process of disruption. It speeds up the necessity. And actually, a pandemic like the COVID has amazing social impact, in the sense that it actually takes down easily every resistance that could be raised there when it comes to adopting new kinds of education, learning, teaching, assimilating. So resistance is not there, because the pandemic is actually changing the physicality of the classroom and the physicality of the pupil, student, and teacher interaction. So will we change too? This is a fantastic and magical question. And I would like to tackle this. What is happening in education has been already taking place, and it is only speeding up because of COVID-19. Yes, blended learning, self-directed learning, learning management systems, artificial intelligence, and I would like to just bring to the table some of the technologies that will be with us in the next, I believe in the next 5 to 7 to 10 years. They will be exponentially part of every student in at least the Western world. So artificial intelligence, indeed, it's going to be changing the face of education, and it's the single thing that we will disrupt us teachers out of education. And this may sound quite revolutionary or radical from my part to support, but please bear with me, and I believe you will see where I'm driving at. So here is a scoring software that can actually do a better job than a human in evaluating a detailed, sophisticated, written, philosophical essay with regards to ideas and content, word choice, organization, sentence fluency, conventions, voice, all sorts of different things, and it will not be touched by a human hand at all, because artificial intelligence will take care of it. An online paper grader it's going to be a resource to be accessed by teachers. And it's a resource which can analyze your paper, grade the paper, and it will do better and much faster than what a human can do. So when we see this, we start to ponder on our purpose and our own mission as more and more of the actual day-to-day stuff that we're doing is taken away and taken over by very, very smart machines. So Intellimetric has been starting since 1997, and one of their claims is the fact that they propose that it is the first artificial intelligence based essay grader to exceed human performance. And in 2003, that's already 17 years ago, they first created an adaptive formative writing tool. The first writing tool with intelligent agent feedback to improve student writing. They only started in 2003, and today their software is amazing. It is actually 2020, which means that you can have this Intellimetric writing tutor. This is an essay writing tutor which will give you all kinds of feedback without ever missing or skipping any of the advice that you as a student might need. Learning machines are here, and I would like you to look at this picture here. You see the learning cloud. I would like you to, for just a bit, remember this specific image further down the road. Here is a student who is on the cloud, which means engage, empower, improve. Designed systems designed to engage, empower learners with high impact learning experiences that do not necessitate the presence of a human teacher. And the teaching experience that they can have through the learning cloud is multisensory. It can be geared to the most powerful learning submodality of the student. It can provide rewards, it can provide guidance, advice, coaching, tutoring, always in a very much enriched environment that makes it absolutely exciting, because this learning cloud tutor does not get bored, does not have kids at home, does not have a ringing phone to respond to, does not get tired, and has all sorts of tricks in their bag. And it still goes on. Let me change here. Brainly is an online tutor for young students. That's very interesting. Also, Math IA University, Math IAU is here to solve your developmental math problem. Oh my God. So you have dysarrhythmia, or you have dyslexia, or you have, I don't know, some kind of allergy with numbers. So here you have a software which can finally understand you, can understand your troubles and your pain, and can actually take you by the hand through a screen and walk you through each one of your infirmities as you tread through those difficult numbers. It's quite an amazing experience, because Math IAU goes beyond memorizing and performing. It coaches students until they learn math. Do you, as a teacher, ever get tired? Myself, I get exhausted, especially if my students are not very receptive. I get exhausted. This guy here on the cloud never gets exhausted. The student may really tire themselves out, but that personalized learning environment will still hang on teaching and remedial math, so to speak. Of course, you know Alexa, and there was a video which became viral when one of the most favorite questions that little kids asked of Alexa were homework questions. And Alexa, of course, did respond and made their homework very easy. One of the final and very interesting steps towards artificial intelligence in the classroom is a very ambitious plan to provide each child in the classroom with an individual personalized tutor. It's very interesting. I'm not sure if you've read the Harry Potter books, but what has been very interesting in that story was that each child had a tutor owl, the bird owl, who was a friend, a confidant, a messenger, and a supporter at all times. It seems that now artificial intelligence makes it possible for children to have this kind of supporter, only it's a metallic one and works very closely. Is the plan is anyway, to work very closely with each individual child to this effect. Now, one more thing before I start concluding on this exponential season. Before I conclude, every year there is the so-called chart of 60 seconds online. And here I have included the 2020, the year 2020 60 seconds online chart. So what you see here is the amazing information overload and choice overload that bombards our students. I consider this extremely fascinating because I find that as an educator myself, all of a sudden I have a huge competition for the students' attention. This is so unique for this time that at every single moment, children today are growing up to be multitasker, multi-screen, short attention span individuals. However, the material that they need to learn, which is a foreign language, it will be math, it will be essay writing, it will be history, geography, and all kinds of subjects. They take time. They need a full course of delivery and understanding. And you cannot go by just by giving little kids snacks here and snacks there, just like they are downloading when they listening to TikTok or Instagram or Facebook or YouTube. So the way the young generation is downloading and assimilating information in very small nuggets, but a multitude of them every single day, is changing their mind windows, their mind OS, their mind software. And however, we ourselves, the educators, do not have the same ability to update our own mind software to Teacher 2.0. So here we are. What are the new generation kids like? What are they like? So let's be introduced to them. They are so smart. They are intuitively intelligent. They are absolutely fast and creative and spontaneous and bold and interested. I'm not sure if you agree. I would love you to write for me in the chat box if you also agree that today's children are older in so very many respects. They understand the world in ways which are amazing. They respond to the world. They grasp concepts and ideas that we, in their age, would find totally complex and unfathomable. However, they do have a very short attention span, and actually their mind is trained to focus for very short nuggets of time, and actually their whole wiring, slowly and bit by bit, is their whole wiring is taking place so that they are responsive to shorter and shorter pieces of information at a time, and their boredom potential is exponential. It goes up to the skies. It truly skyrockets. Their ability to be bored, to be disinterested, uninterested even, and to look you with empty eyes, which cry out, please entertain me. So we have our hands full. They do have short fusions because there's lack of downtime for them. So they sleep, sending SMSs with their mobile phones. All through the day, they check in on Instagram and TikTok. They create their videos. They speak with their friends online. They do online classes. They participate in a very, very vibrant world, which is at some points, which truly is taxing their nervous system and their ability to tolerate this vast amount of communication, interaction, and contribution as well. They are disconnected from the self. Actually, I believe this is one of the most fascinating and important features and characteristics of the younger generation. And it starts with us, the parents, because in their homes today, even though many parents do make an effort to read a storybook during or before sleep time, however, there is very little time left for families to do sharing together, to do storytelling together. I'm sure that yourselves have the same experience as I do, but more and more I see families having chat groups on WhatsApp or on Viber, and they talk through the day in their family chat room on Viber or on WhatsApp, but the specific time that is available for them to truly hug their children, to really press them tight to their heart, time available to share memories, for parents to share their lives, and through their lives, share the lineage, the family histories, all the special strengths and all those things to be so very proud of about the family lineage are not accessible to the kids because the Viber or WhatsApp is always on. And this is reality. They are emotionally illiterate, which means that in the classroom, they cannot understand their own emotions easily. They cannot handle emotional charge, for example, envy, anger, sadness, even joy. They're not able to handle these emotions readily, and they will be growing more and more illiterate. And finally, I would like to remind you now at this point, the learning cloud girl flying in the air, they are ungrounded. And here, I would like to invite you to a stop. I would like you, if it is possible for you, to look at this picture of a newborn baby. And I would like us all to notice this amazing organ, which is called the umbilical cord. This is our grounding. We are born grounded, and we are bonded with the parent, with the mother, with this nourishing connection of the umbilical cord. We are bonded, we are born, and immediately we are attached. We are attached to the breast. We are grounded on human skin. And for the next whole year, before a baby becomes a toddler and starts to walk, the baby for a whole year will learn to be grounded on the parent, on the caretaker. A baby will be taught the touch, the holding, the enfolding, being contained. And I would like us to realize that the life of our children today is wireless. And even our cards, watches, phones, even everything else is contactless. And this is actually even the name of the technology, wireless and contactless. So where are our kids grounded? Where are they standing? Where are they enfolded? Where are they contained in this vast, vast, vast online universe of news, information, sensorial imagery, role models, cultural production, songs, words, images, videos. So yes, we can see the teacher and the child, the teacher as a mediator of the machine. And we need to understand, for me, we need to make, to really stand in awe in front of two core realizations. We teachers, you teachers, we are no more the carriers of information and knowledge. We have been disrupted by Google, even by artificial intelligence and the way it delivers learning. So if a child today wants to find information and knowledge, they can do that. They can access that easier than from us. Perhaps even more interestingly, in more fascinating, multisensory, exciting, cinematic, 3D, 4D, 10D ways. We are no more the carriers of information and knowledge. And we are not even the carriers of the learning process. because the learning process is happening online, through Alexa, through robots, through machines. We are disrupted by the artificial intelligence teaching systems. However, and I would like us here to stop for just a moment, because we are the only ones who can teach their children, our children, we can teach them back their humanity. We're the ones to unmachine our children. And I'm sure that all of you are here today because you are inspired educators. In this call today, you're participating because you already are leaders. And I deeply, deeply, deeply feel that our leadership with children, but our leadership with the teachers that we take under our wings is to actually inspire them with the mission for humanity in an online world, in a connected wirelessly and contactlessly world. So we will be the ones who can teach the kids to unmachine themselves, and we are the only ones who can teach them their skin, even through the screens, even from afar, even through distance learning. We will be able to do it, and it depends on us in every respect. So so we need to disrupt what our definition is for who we are as teachers, as educators. And we need to disrupt our definition for the teachers that we mentor or train or help or are part of their life and of their experience in the teaching and education community. So we need to understand, even though we will still be carrying the definition and the description teacher, however, our mission is only partly executed when we teach, because the heart of what our mission will be is to teach humanity. So now I have, for the rest of the time, for the rest of the 10 minutes that I have with me here, I have the skill sets, the skills that will be required for us to be a priority when we share with educators and when we look at kids' eyes in the classroom, no matter if it is remote, if it is a remote classroom, or if it is a physical classroom. So, first thing is our ability to teach joy and glee. Of course, you will know very well that there's millions of humoristic videos online, and TikTok is full of them, and children have a laugh, but humor is not joy. And this is up to us now to teach our children, our students, to feel the joy of being alive, the joy of learning, the joy of sharing, the joy of connecting, and that glee, the ability to express the joy other than the laughter of comedy or humor. Here's a picture for you. So one thing in the classroom, for example, is to ask the students, what could be the different names that you would give this lady given her hat? Eggsum, egg winnings. I mean, the kids can count omelette lady. The kids can come up with thousands of names that will be so creative, and they will make them laugh. However, when we teach joy, we take them their laugh and share with them, notice the joy of what it is like when you create, when you produce something completely out of the blue. How does that make you feel? So this core question is the pathway to their joy. How does it make you feel when you can create, when you come up with things, when you see something, and when you can generate your humor? So help them connect with their emotion. Sometimes I like showing children photographs. And as you know, we have mirror neurons. So when our neurons, those specific mirror neurons in Broca's area in the brain, when they look at the picture, they are able to understand the emotion, the expression, and the experience. So sometimes I like to show pictures to students and ask them to explain or do storytelling about the specific emotion. And when they tell you she's happy, what kind of happy is that? And when is the last time when you can share with us when you were truly and deeply as happy as that? Were you swimming in the beach? Were you with friends? Was there a party? And it's so important to be able to connect children with this aspect in their life. Number two, a second skill set for us as teachers is to teach them the expression of feeling. And we will have in the classroom all sorts of opportunities to help our children to learn to label their feelings, to learn to talk and share with each other on the basis of their feelings. This is going to be very important for their relationships in the classroom, for team building in the classroom, for making our classroom a community. And for me, it does not matter if the classroom is online or if it's a physical one. And we can start building those communities when we, as teachers, between ourselves, just like it is happening today, we are bringing ourselves together in community ourselves, sharing and expressing ourselves. My third skill set is to teach them failure and courage. One thing that I did learn eventually the hard way is that if an organization, an organism like a school classroom does not have a philosophy about failure and rejection and frustration, there's not going to be any courage. And it is more and more difficult for parents to actually teach failure because they're so invested in their expectations of their children in this exponential time that they do not, that they become so anxious about their performance and their grades and their future. And failure is out of the question, but failure is such an important part of acquiring courage and stamina and the ability to keep taking the next step and the next step. Sometimes I use a picture to help them with failure. When a tree is very healthy and is growing very fast and is doing magical things to the maximum, then its pot cracks. And some people call this pot a wasted pot. But we know better. We know that this is a brave pot that knows how to crack in order to make space for more. And number 4, learn to make your screen have a soul. I believe there's a lot to be said about this. And the way you look to the children, the way you touch them through the screen, there's going to be an avalanche of material on how to work on this. And I believe it is our utmost priority to provide this soul to the screen. Sometimes we just play a game together, just to give you one of my things, the popcorn headman. And all those popcorns are different thoughts people have. And each person can crack one of those popped corns and share their thoughts. And then we all clap together, and it's time for laughter and sharing. And it's just so amazing to be able to see the community coming together with a common soul, even through the screen. Number 5, teach them bonding, not just connecting. We are just, so to a very big extent, I do believe we are mixing things up quite a bit. And connectivity is such an in word, but connectivity is truly and actually not going beyond the skin. And I miss this. We all miss this. We miss the bonding beyond beyond the just connecting in this wireless and contactless world. So the ability to share our stories, to share our news, and to look at each other and express our feelings for each other is how we will be able to keep up this amazing human skill of bonding, which has made human beings the hugest survivalist species on this planet, to the expense of other species. So if I were to have just one concluding comment, it would be an invitation to all of us to share our humanity with our families, with a community of teachers where we belong together and we share together, and then take this humanity, our humanity, out there to the children who will rely on us to become amazing human beings. Thank you so much for your attention tonight.
Agnes, thank you so much. I think the comments on the chat box are really inspiring. There was a lot of chat, and I can share that with you later on if you want.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Would you like to, if they have any questions or?
Yes, I have left 5 minutes in case
Great.
somebody would like to comment. I would love to hear a comment or a question.
Great. Thank you. So if anybody has a question or a comment, can you please write it on the chat box? I see lots of thank yous, Agni. Inspiration.
It's my complete pleasure. Thank you, George. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we will be sharing the presentation on the My TESOL group. That was a question. You're a passionate woman, they're saying. Wonderful, great presentation.
Yes, we
Very
need
good.
to walk our talk. We just need to walk our talk. The revolution which is happening out there is going to be a big challenge on the humanity of our children. And we are the stewards of their humanity. And for me, it's a complete pleasure to share this vision with leaders like you.
Great, thank you. They're asking, what do you teach? What are the courses that you teach?
I teach adults. I do a lot of teacher trainer courses, classroom management, that kind of stuff. And I also teach teachers how to communicate soft skills to the classroom, like soft skills like self-esteem, perseverance, sharing, storytelling, how to teach children soft skills.
And there is a question.
I'm a psychologist by training.
Yeah, I know. Can people still teach without the dependence of technology, or is it inevitable post-COVID?
I believe that for me, the teaching without technology will be the ultimate luxury of the future. I think that in the next 10 years, we will see such exponential explosion of knowledge and expertise that for somebody to become truly an expert on something, they will have to rely on technology for quite a good part of sophisticated knowledge. It will be impossible to actually grasp so much stuff without the help of technology. So this is one side. So expertise will rely on technology, but in my opinion, we will see an expansion of the kind of teaching which we now see as MOOCs, the MOOCs that we're all aware of. And what happens is that MOOCs will create a trend for wider but more surface learning, wider but more surface learning. Mm-hmm. And this will create individuals who are incompatible in the kind of depth of learning and in the kind of ability to transform their learning to results. So what will happen is that what we today call as universities will be completely disrupted, because learning will become so complex that there will be different small groups that will be teaching very specific things, and the mass scale of teaching that we have known up to now as universities will stop being there. However, when it comes to elementary school and high school, I believe the situation will be pretty much what it is today, but with definitely more technology. I don't see the school of the future without technology. The thing is that those of us who are leaders need to foresee all these things and be ready with our new mission there before the changes happen. And we find ourselves truly ejected away by the system.
Great, thank you very much. I don't know if there is any other questions in the chat box. If not, I would like to thank Agnes Mariakaki, first of all, for being here with us tonight. I think it was a very, very inspiring last session. Thank you very much for accepting to present for the TESOL Affiliate Network. We're honored you're here. Thank you. And for the participants, I would like to ask that you complete the survey that I just put in on the chat box. I know it's for the 3 days, but please complete the first day, because most likely you will forget all the sessions that you have attended on the third day. So you can do that session per day, right? Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.
And we'll see you tomorrow. I can share the schedule. You can see all times are Eastern.
Thank you.
Right, let me just share my screen for tomorrow. That's our schedule for tomorrow. We start at 12 Eastern with affiliate colloquium, the Horn We Trust at 1 o'clock. Don't miss the Nile TESOL charades. It's going to be acting. Building leaders in your affiliate, 3 o'clock. Intersection presentations at 4 p.m. 5 p.m. Happy, excuse me, happy half hour from home. James is going to be hosting this social activity, and we will close the day with building K to 12 partnerships and scholarships. Right? Please complete the survey, and if you have any questions, we'll stay on this call for another 2-3 minutes, and then we'll disconnect. Thank you. Have a good night, evening, or afternoon.